actually, that list I sent you this morning.
Yeah.
It had this on there, the top 25 anime from.
Oh yeah.
IGN's
Well, what was like
ratings.
top 5?
Well, number 1 was Brotherhood.
Yeah. Well, it probably should be.
Brotherhood should be number 1. And
I mean,
they've listed all the good reasons because a lot of them clash between the story and actually still fleshing out the characters and giving them human moments. And that show does a fucking amazing job.
It's probably the best anime I've watched. Like, I don't know if it's my favorite, but I can admit it's the best.
It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't just love it because of this is number 1 and shit, all these fucking hoity-toity like weird.
No, I know.
Whatever.
I know you love the characters.
I love the fucking characters.
Yeah.
I love her art style. I love the story elements.
What was like number 2? Like,
I don't remember some of them. You got into the top 5, and I think One Piece was in there.
I heard that was really good. But, yeah,
the ones that stood out on the list entirely, you had Trigun, the original Trigun.
I heard that was good. I haven't seen it.
Code Geass.
Code Geass.
Geass.
I react to it. I think it's pronounced Code
Geass.
Code Geass.
That's a fucking stupid way to pronounce it.
Well, it might not be. I don't know if it ever. Maybe
I think it's a dumb name if it's Code Geass, but whatever. There's plenty of anime out there that have weird shit that are good.
I have no idea how to pronounce it. I said Code Geass. It is really good, but it's
weird though.
It's weird, and I don't know.
Because I tried to start watching it. I think I saw something. I watched a trailer.
Like, I don't know if you would love it. I'm not sure if there's like that character. I think you tend to latch on it more if there's like a character. The plot's
I like
good.
character-driven shit.
It's the plot's good, and but the character is just kind of like a young kid.
Also on the list there was.
Was any Gundam on the list? I hope so.
No
Gundam. Not on any 25.
They're all series, not films. And I know like the original Gundam anime was a film. They were films.
So the first one was, but there was a series too.
But there was like 3 or 4 Gundam films. There was Gundam 1, 2. There was Char's Counterattack.
Yeah, but I thought that the original series Mobile Suit Gundam. I thought there was like 18 episodes.
I don't know.
Okay,
I just know that there were 4 films on Netflix right now, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So I just had to assume maybe that's why they weren't posted, or maybe they just weren't considered to be better than these other ones. Evangelion was on there.
Okay.
Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop was in the top 5, I think.
Yeah. Was Rurouni Kenshin on that list?
I don't recall it being, but it
really,
might have been.
I see that in a lot of
the
lists.
fucking Naruto was on there. Dragon Ball Z was on there, but it was like 23. It was like they put it in there, but it wasn't.
Well, like I think like you got to put it on there for greatness, as in terms of like the influence and the impact. Yeah. Like I'm not going to say it's fucking like the deepest thing. I just fucking love it.
No, but it was like the meteor that fucking crashed in America.
Yeah,
and opened it all up for everyone.
Gundam Wing as well. It was in that time slot.
Those two, I remember.
Because Gundam Wing was a mature
had
one.
Them on here.
Yeah, Gundam Wing was a mature one, and Dragon Ball Z was like the immature one. Mm-hmm. But they both aired back to back, and anime took off. Yeah, so
this was definitely on there. I don't think it was top 5, but it was on that list.
Well, yeah, and a lot of that I think hinges on the answers that you get later. I think you'll really like them. I really do.
I do like it.
Yeah.
I fucking hate the Titans. And
no, yeah.
I just want to see some.
Like I'm still waiting to see how much it pays off. Like when it comes to like the mystery, I really like those answers, but there's still like okay, so now what? You know? And that's what I need to watch. We'll get to watch that together, actually. Guys, we've been talking for a while. Brett, you might include some of this stuff, but we're back with Attack on Titan, Season 2.
Bullet points.
Yeah, Episode 11. Ymir's flashback. It was a kind of a tragic thing, what happened to Ymir, and you were speculating. Actually, no, I think I should have admitted it to you. And it was a syringe. So,
because I saw the fucking syringe.
I was looking and I didn't see it.
It's there.
I was thinking, I don't think they should.
You're not very observant. Because
I was
that guy
looking. I wasn't even observant.
It showed his hand.
Yeah.
It showed his hand. It showed a syringe. I know for a fact I saw the syringe.
You projecting your
theory
onto it.
It's there. It's there.
Well, whether it was or not,
it's there.
They did use one.
There.
They did use
You're
one.
wrong.
Okay.
It's there.
Brett, show me if I'm wrong.
Find the syringe.
Okay.
Stop this. I'm begging you. It's not right.
She wandered as a Titan for, 70, 60 years.
60 years.
60 years. She ate their friend.
He said it gained her his ability, but at the same time, so my understanding of this then is that she should also take that form, but she already had the form.
Well, that was the thing that I never even thought about. Maybe I did. I really can't remember. But I think you're right about that. I think it's kind of a...
Well, it's just one fuck up.
It's a bit of a fuck up because, when I was even going through it again before today, it's remarkably similar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's a little bit of a mess up.
She talked about being eaten by their superiors, so obviously somebody could eat her and take her power.
Yeah, so you're kind of putting it together there. So it also
warrior buddies, or whatever the hell she called them.
You're right. So your warrior pals. She did say, I think you're warrior pals, and then Bertold said, "Who are you right now?" And Reiner said, "I'm a warrior."
Yeah.
So that's good language to keep in your head. But yeah, so I don't want to say anything. I don't want to build anything up, but I'm excited. All right, so let's jump in. What do you think?
Everyone had pretty badass moments.
That's a hell of a moment.
He was just fucking taking off his horse, bitten by the arm. He must have cut his own arm off.
Oh, God damn it. I love that man's voice.
I'm glad he did not. I'm glad he wasn't eaten yet.
Yeah.
I say yet because he still could be eaten. But
yeah.
I'm glad that he survived that encounter at any rate. Yeah,
because if that was the only moment, I think it would not be enough to justify how much I talk about him. But,
maybe not. I don't know. I've talked about a lot of characters that don't have much screen time. So. Well,
no, but I love Erwin, and he has moments like that. I'm not saying there's a lot.
He's only got so many limbs left.
There's very few, I think, where it's like, oh, he's a badass.
They don't have automail in this series. So.
Yeah, no. So, were you initially afraid that was it?
Yeah. I didn't want him to die.
Me either. But when he started screaming, that's so cool.
So glad that he was not eaten. But,
yeah. Be a terrible way for that man to go out.
I just really hope Mikasa doesn't get eaten.
Yeah.
I'm very, very big chance that she might be, because that would just add to Aaron's rage.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll get loose and turn into a Titan and kill that thing because of what it did to his mom. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't want Mikasa to die.
I really liked Mikasa in this episode, too. I thought she was a badass without too much melodrama over the Aaron stuff.
Just over the edge, man.
She was just a
badass.
badass.
Off the fucking chain.
Yeah. How'd you feel about what they were talking to Bertold about and, like, how Bertold responded?
Yeah, well, it goes back to how Bertold really never said anything to begin with, and now all of a sudden
it's all coming out.
Forthcoming.
Yeah. So I know there's, like, two sides to, like, what's going on, and we see it from the survivors in the wall side.
Yeah.
And there's obviously something outside the walls where these people are from.
They were made to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's clear that they did not ask for this. Mm-hmm. So, like, and you haven't seen any of that, obviously. Like, is there anything in your mind that could justify making you feel for them?
The only thing I can say is I don't know what's on the other end.
Yeah.
I don't know who's making do what they're doing, and you have to. I guess you'd have to understand that the sacrifices people would have to make. Say some organization had your kids, and it's like, what would you do? You'd obviously, as a parent.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you'd want, because about preservation for yours.
It's one of those things, like, and you want to kill yourself the whole time.
Yeah.
But once you do a little bit, you can't go back. Mm-hmm. You're doing this for your kids.
Yeah. It's the same kind of thing. Your family, your loved ones.
Well, it's kind of like in The Last of Us with Sam and Henry, because Sam
needed
the leukemia medication.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you blame him really?
Just two sides.
It's like I blame him, but I can't. If I were in his shoes, I'd
have empathy for him.
Yeah.
The fact that I don't like those other fuckers anyway that he was ratting out.
No, I didn't. But the guy,
the concept of a rat.
Yeah, the guy he ratted out was a great man, though.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Well, what does that say for the character of the others, though, if they fell apart that easily without him?
Exactly. So it's
So it's just kind of.
Yeah, they're hard questions, I think. I mean, obviously, from Aaron's point of view, I think he has every reason to feel how he feels. I think all these people do.
Well, that's kind of like that's what Brotherhood does so well. We were talking about Brotherhood prior to this reaction, but Brotherhood does a very good job of giving very human examples of a lot of the characters.
Yeah,
there's only some of them that remain two-dimensional.
Yeah,
I mean, Gluttony stays two-dimensional pretty much the whole goddamn time. Sloth.
Yeah.
Pride,
even. Goofy motherfucker, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But he works well.
Well, he works well. I don't want everyone to have a.
Yeah. Pride is even kind of two-dimensional because he's never really humanized. He's just kind of.
Yeah.
Until the very end when he's like, born again.
Yeah.
And then, let's see, Lust, they try to give a little bit of humanity to her later.
Well, I think they're encompassed completely by their.
She's kind of the leader of their pack in the beginning. Yeah. Well, not always. I mean, they do a good job with greed.
Yes.
They do a good job with Wrath.
Yes.
So
but I think Wrath definitely, his job requires much more.
he's also different than the others because
Yeah.
he's a human-based homunculi,
Mhm.
but that ages.
Yeah.
So I guess he's not the only human-based homunculi, but he's the one that ages.
Yeah.
So he's unique.
Yeah.
But like Greed, for
Yeah.
instance,
Yeah.
that develops more in character. Lust is kind of the leader of the group when you don't have Father there to be the.
One thing
head
about
honcho.
Gluttony is like he's scarier being two-dimensional to me.
Well, he's just supposed to be the simple-minded,
Yeah.
horrible thing that eats people.
Yeah, I think that makes him scarier to me.
Yeah.
Like it just. Yeah.
And the sloth is just muscle at the end.
Yeah.
And they work well in their respective parts, but they do a good job at Scar,
Yeah.
for instance. There's a lot of human story with Scar.
Yeah.
He has PTSD.
Yeah.
He went through a lot of suffering with his people, with Ishval.
Yeah.
But they had the fucking Ishvalan genocide. And so, yeah, he deserves some comeuppance. Not comeuppance on him, but he deserves some vengeance.
Yeah. So.
But at the same time, they make it a point to address.
What's his voice actor's name
I
again?
don't remember.
Well, I'm not going to compare that character to this character, but
They're both hard asses.
They're both hard asses. But in terms of like how the stories pan out, I don't want to compare them. They're both very different, but he does a great job with them. I think his best performance is in that one time traveling quirky anime performance. But I think the coolest character is probably Scar.
Who are we in this show? Or can we be anybody yet? Is there not enough material?
I really.
I would almost give you Aaron because of his drive, but you don't lash out all the time like Aaron does.
But do you think I did when I was 14 though?
I think you were like the fucking that guy from the Star Wars arc we just watched, where you're always talking about yourself in the third person.
I was like a moral of all.
Yeah, Shake Farley. All right, that was kind of insufferable, but
Well, I mean,
drive, yes.
I think the way Aaron has dealt with the tragedy, I think I'd be motivated similarly.
Yeah.
But I like how he's not like Mikasa. Just because he's motivated doesn't mean he's competent. He's just motivated. His rage gets him there, just like the Han said.
Hannes,
like he's not the fastest, or the strongest, or the smartest, but his persistence. Yeah. I think I'm like a fly. I'm like very persistent when I want something until I normally find a way to achieve it.
Yeah.
But I usually have to. I always feel like I have to work harder than like most people do at certain things because it comes easier for some people.
It does.
But with you, I mean, there are things even about Aaron. I mean, because there's all kinds of things that happen in the story with the characters where you go, oh, shit. So now I understand this, or now I don't. Now I disagree with this, and it can, and the characters will do things that I think completely change the way you feel about them. I mean, I don't know. I guess I feel really more than anyone I know. I think the qualities that are external. I think internally you're kind of the same person to me, but it's not. I don't think we can pin that on the character. The things about you, I think that you show to the world changes. That a lot sometimes. Yeah. Like you're fluid in terms of like sometimes you're this, sometimes you're that. It's like 2 or 3 things that you are. I mean, I think you can. I'm trying to think of that. Like you work hard. You're talented. You can be very motivated, and you can be motivated to not be motivated despite something. You know what I mean? So I think that takes motivation. I think sometimes you act so apathetic about a situation. I feel like that takes motivation. It's hard for me to be that bitterly apathetic about something. You know what I mean? I feel like you're putting more effort to
hold a grudge.
Yeah. Well, it's just like I think the thing at work, which I won't get into too much. I feel like that takes work to
sacrifice,
to get less money, and to like think that you're going to change anything. What I'm saying?
It's like a fuck you without saying fuck you.
Yeah, but I feel like that's part of the fuck you is making them know it.
Yeah.
But I feel like, to me, I didn't see what happened. I feel like I don't know if it was like such a hammer to like because there's like 100 employees,
Oh yeah.
What's Brucker doing? I don't know. It might have been like inside you're like these motherfuckers. I got them. You know what I mean? Like, but then like I don't know. I also see. I mean, I think real instances of like noble determination. I think and morality when it comes to, I think how you handle relationships and your promises and what you believe someone is owed. And sometimes I think you're wrong. but I feel like, I admire that you believe it and that you stick to it. And I think you stick to that longer than most people. But and there's a character that reminds me of that. But I can't say why.
Met him?
Well, no, I can't say why yet because you haven't seen everything. But I think at the end, I think we can get to the point where I am in the show now, which is I've seen a very little bit of the last season. I think we could have that conversation again.
So I don't know who I am yet, is what you're telling me?
Yeah.
You can't tell me who it is?
Well, I think...
Is it someone I've met?
I think there's a tendency when you're younger, because you're always the biggest character. The biggest kid, like Reiner, who is like the leader, and he's the biggest dude, and he's got like a mean streak to him. But I mean, I know you're not like that all the time. But like, there's so much more Reiner that is not like you, and you'll find out about it. And I don't want to comment on what it is. Yeah. But I mean... I really don't know. That's a really long answer.
I was going to say, because I was saying Brotherhood, you'd be like Armstrong.
I wish I'd be that big.
Well, your younger self would have been Armstrong.
If I was that big?
When you're in love. No, it's just the fact that he's in love with himself.
No. But he's also much more capable than I was. You know what I mean?
It's a cartoon, man.
Well,
Come on. The point is the character.
That type of character, yeah. I really like the Eldrick brothers, like their loyalty to each other.
Gene Havoc, maybe.
Kind of made me think of me and you. Like, I think the love, the brotherhood they have for each other. And when it comes to like the personality characters, I don't know, but if we want to talk about traits, like what trait to me is important. I think when people talk about me, I like to think they say Shane is a loyal friend who would do anything to the people who are loyal to him back.
That's true.
You know what I mean? But
that's true. But you take a slight.
But I feel like when I sense disloyalty from someone, I feel like I'm loyal to. I feel I hold it. Like I don't like it. It's a lot of disdain for me.
Yeah, I guess in close personal relationships, it's affected more and it's pronounced more in your reaction. But
no, yeah,
when like things that it's like we had to talk about someone that followed you on social media, they cut you out, and because of like their stand, like what their beliefs were. Yeah, like it's like all these things they're like multifaceted in why they stopped following you and shit. And you're like, all right, well, fuck you, and then you like cut them out too. Yeah. And I feel like it affects your opinion, but then again, I didn't get all the information, so I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I think if we're talking about I think they're still following me. I'm still following them. I think.
Probably. I don't know.
Oh, you mean like
I'm in general. I'm
what happened before?
General, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. And it's because of some things that was said, and I'm thinking, why don't you just say it to me? You know, like I'm like
I didn't know that. So.
Yeah, it was some things that was said.
I can't say anything because I don't always take a slight that well.
No, you don't. Well, it's just like, you've slighted me and I've forgiven you because you're my brother, but I can't do that a million times. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I would do that for anyone else except you. I really don't. Maybe. Yeah, and only because I understand you, not because we're so close. Like, it's literally because I know how you are. Yeah. But I've known like Huckleberry's almost as long as you, and I love him. I don't think I can take that from him because I feel like I don't mean this in a way to slight you, but he knows better. Yeah. And I know you. I don't mean in that way. I don't mean like you're dumb. I mean like you're a certain way. And I don't like every part of you, but I love who you are. So I can forgive a slight.
I don't like every part of me either. So.
Yeah, I can forgive a. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's not me just not being. Obviously, I'm not going to be. I can't be objective on everything. I don't think it's good to be like a robot at all. Like people who I feel like wronged me or like ran with something that I feel like they didn't have the whole story, and it changed my life forever. I feel a certain way about it. That and it drives me though. So I just try to use it. I try to use everything positively, and I'm not perfect at it, but like I like Anakin. I like Aaron's how much he's motivated. And I admire that.
I love it.
The Eldrick brothers. Yeah, the Eldrick brothers.
I just can't.
That love for them that they have.
I can't relate to it. I can, but the same. I guess when I imagine it in his head, I imagine it constantly being there.
Yeah, like.
That's my thing. It's like I always envision things, and it's a fault of mine. But I always envision things in the extreme. Yeah. Like extreme cases.
No, I know you do.
Yeah, so it's.
Because I feel like if something happens, you view it the most extreme version of that intention. Yeah. And it might not have been that intention.
I'm aware.
Yeah, and it's just like...
But it's always like a fail-safe.
No, yeah, it's a defense mechanism that's probably some unresolved trauma.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, well, this is probably what it is, so...
Well, I noticed that in your relationships where, like... I feel like, in your romantic relationships, I feel like, what should I do? Like, well, I don't know. But we do have this piece of information. And I don't know how much... That's my observation of a person that I can't see inside their head, and I'll tell you that, and you go, well, then this means this, and I'm not doing that. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Don't take it from me. You observe yourself, you know?
Well, there's always the data from me to fall back on. It's like when they're trying to gene sequence the dinosaurs and add in the frog DNA.
Yeah.
It's like you get that little bit of DNA there. It's like, well, there's this, but there's also all this shit. So
yeah, but I feel like
this facet of this information, you got all this shit going on, so you balance it out. And the scales, it's like the fucking Moon Knight.
But the things that
Moon Knight, you're putting the shit on the scales and just.
But I feel like the things that are unknown you should give the benefit of the doubt to, instead of taking a little piece of information that might be bad that you can't confirm and thinking, well, that's the truth.
It depends, because I've had multiple sources in some cases, so it's just like I'm gathering data.
No, you're right, and I think everyone does that. But I feel like you film.
Then I'm like, okay, well, if the other person,
I think
the other person that probably in one recent case is just unaware. Yeah. But if they were to do the same thing at some point, the data they collected would not be very good.
So, well, yeah, but so do you have a good example of why that is not like always reliable way to evaluate?
I do. Yeah, I'm not.
But then you're never.
I'm not the most terrible thing, but I'm also not the greatest thing. I'm like the lukewarm thing you spit out.
What I'm saying is like.
So.
I feel like, I mean, you obviously will never get hurt living the way you're living, but like you also don't take chances, which I know you know. That's not good.
It depends. So I take, I don't know. I did nothing. I got nothing. All right, folks, we're done.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching our reaction. I was here, with the guys one night till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
So my dad.
No wonder he's pissed.
Yeah, and then we gotta come back Wednesday for the Mandalorian. So we appreciate you guys, and by the way, go check out our Mandalorian reactions because we'll have a couple out by the time this comes out on YouTube. We appreciate you, and let us know in the comments what you think of the video.